There you go. We're pleased to have on the line one of my favorite musicians since first I saw him perform live in the fall of 1970. 55
Oh my
years,
gosh.
55 years ago this fall at the brand new UMR multi-purpose building in Rolla, Missouri.
Yeah.
We're Missouri S&T right now. We've changed names since you were here. And
Oh man.
as I recall, the opening act was some crazy balloon twisting comedian Steve something or other. But in any event, we'll get to that later maybe. But this is Grammy Award-winning musician, producer, author, father, grandfather, great grandfather, and
Oh my.
banjo aficionado, and also a co-founder of the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band. Welcome to the show, John McEuen.
That's about the best introduction I've ever had.
Oh no, don't give me a big head here. I'll go off the rails. Hey, I could continue with all of the awards and accolades, but we'd run out of time. A couple of Hall of Fame
Oh
thrown in there, and a few other things. It is pretty
well,
fabulous.
I'm just trying to stay in business, you know. I mean, make people know I'm out there, and it helps to get that stuff because it gets a little publicity, and you kind of, you know, oh look at he's still around.
That's right. That's right. Hey, the things that impressed me the most from the first time I saw you perform was your mastery of most every stringed instrument. I think you picked up just about everything on the stage and played it if it had a string on it. I assume that started at a young age.
No, it started when I was about 19, 18,
Really?
19. Yeah, I started playing the guitar at 17. And then at 17 and a half, I heard Doug Dillard from Salem, Missouri,
Oh, yeah.
play, play the banjo when the Dillards first came to LA. And that took me away. And at 18 years old, I had to get a banjo and had to be like Doug Dillard.
That's
And
yeah, that's incredible. Yeah, you know, most people that have the musical uh, abilities that you have started right out of the womb. You know.
yeah, I'm surprised too. It's like I was really in a place I needed to escape, I guess.
Hmm. Well, and you mentioned the Dillards, and you've performed with everybody from Dolly Parton to Jack Benny, and you seem to have a thing about brothers, the Smothers, the Allman, the Doobie, the Osmonds, the Everly, and I guess there were brothers in the Dillards too. So you,
Oh, that's right.
yeah,
Hey, that's a great observation. I never even thought of that.
I
I
was
mean, I knew there were brothers in the Dillards, but I didn't. Yeah,
so
I've played with the Everly Brothers. I did about 10 shows, being the opening act, and I played with the Doobie Brothers. I opened for them before, and that was a lot of fun. And it's just Smothers Brothers. I opened for them, and I know Tommy and Dick, and they know me, and I feel very proud of that. It's very nice.
yeah, that's terrific. Hey, were you ever in any collaboration with any of the folks? I mean, the hundreds and hundreds of musicians that you played with that you had maybe no or low expectations that turned out to be a really pleasant surprise, either artistically or personally rewarding for you?
I would say Martha Redbone is one. She's a Native American woman I produced an album on. She called me and said, I want you to help me write some music. And so I came up with instrumentals for poetry of William Blake. You know William Blake?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you do? Okay. For those that don't know, Tiger, Tiger, Burning Bright is, I never understood that one, but that was one of his one of his poems. But he had this book of songs, he called it, love songs, but there were no songs. So we made up an album of songs, music to go with them. And she did a killer job on, let's see, what's it called? Roots music of the songs of William Blake, Garden of Love.
Wow, that's
And,
terrific.
and that's a good question. I had a good one there.
Yeah, that's fabulous. You know, of course, you've worked with just about everybody. You've done some TV work too with Ken Burns on his documentary about country music. That must have been interesting to work with him.
That was really neat. I'd never have met Ken Burns, but Mr. Dalton is with his cohort is the person that did the interview and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I actually did another Ken Burns show. They used some of my music, Horatio's Drive, about the first car drive from east to west coast in 1906 or something,
Ooh,
and that was really neat.
I'll have to watch that. I'll have to dig that one up, but I'm sure it's out there streaming somewhere, right? And,
Yeah, I think so.
and then you also worked with Sesame Street and some goats, I understand, some farm
That
animals.
was that was my that was a crowning achievement for me. I sang "Oh Susanna" with 20 kids dancing around me, and 50 goats and a cow. And if I can work with that cow, boy, that's going to be a dream.
Yeah,
No, but that was really a fun thing to do.
that's wonderful. Yeah, we all know about your work with the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band. Over 35 years total that you worked with the Nitty Gritty
Over
Dirt.
50 years, yeah.
Oh, 50 years total, huh? You've worked with other groups, but I think you worked with a group that was a one-hit wonder, the Toot Uncommons. Is that a band that you had worked with briefly?
Oh, the secret's out of the bag.
Oh no.
That was the Steve Martin record of King Tut. My brother was managing Steve, and I convinced him as Bill, you've got to manage this guy that's in high school with me, and that was in high school with me. He's playing funny stuff, and anyway, it started. But 7 years after we started managing him, he wrote King Tut,
Hmm.
and he came to L.A. once and did that, and we were playing Dorothy Chandler Pavilion, which is like the Carnegie Hall of L.A., and headlining a date in this 2,500 seat room, and he taught us the music he wanted behind it. We went through it in the dressing room and worked it up in the dressing room. We went out on stage during the show and we brought out the special guests, and it just blew the room away. King Tut, funky Tut, it was just
And
really,
it made the
it was,
rounds, didn't it?
oh man, it was an example of how Steve could take something that was newsworthy and turn it into something silly.
Well,
Kids could laugh about it.
now he seems like a guy that's really a serious individual about his music and about his comedy. Is that the impression that you get to? And did you help him anything with his stage play? Did you give him any advice about Bright Star?
About what?
Bright Star, his Broadway play.
Oh no, he came up with that all on his own.
Wow.
It was really kind of cool. But he'd been playing for years,
Hmm.
and when we started playing, I mean, we both started at the same time, and he he wasn't. Steve always says that I taught him how to play the banjo, but that's kind of him. I showed him many things, but he took off on his own after a few years, and he loves music. And the Bright Star you're referring to, for those that don't know, it's a play, kind of set in Appalachia, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah,
And it kind of takes that Billy Joe McAllister throwing off something off the Tallahatchie Bridge,
yeah,
and turns it into a whole play.
yeah.
It doesn't use that song,
Right.
the idea of
Yeah.
that kind of idea.
It was a fabulous play. I saw it down in Sarasota. In fact, I think that you're going to be down near there. You're going to be in Fort Myers and Winter Haven, and you're going to be in Sarasota in
Yeah,
November
I'm going to
this
be at,
year.
be at McCurdy's Comedy Club,
Yeah.
Comedy Theater.
Well, my daughter
We,
lives down there, so I'll have to have her come by.
oh, it's a really neat place, that Comedy Theater. He's got all kinds of great comedians that come in there.
Very,
Kevin Nealon,
yeah, yeah,
uh, Dice Clay, and different people.
that'd be great.
And
Yeah, I know touring can be a tedious endeavor, and of course, relationships can be strained. But one of the things I noticed about you, and when I've seen you and the Dirt Band, it always seemed like you were almost joyous on stage performing together when you were on stage.
well, you spend 22 hours of your life getting to being on stage that day.
Mhm.
You better have fun.
Well, some people though, so I've seen some people on stage that you say, why are you even there? But you guys, you just really kind of fell together, and it was just really a joyous occasion to watch you guys
I
play.
I started doing magic in the Disneyland Magic Shop. It was my first job. I was 16 years old, and I got my first job doing magic tricks for people and selling them. And I had so much fun. I worked at least 55, 60 hours a week. In fact, one week I put in 92
Oh
hours.
my gosh.
I got the biggest check I'd ever seen, $124.
Ooh,
Boy.
you're rolling in it then.
But I learned then that I loved performing, and I didn't want to work for a living. And then I ended up with this job that is the music business is a lot of work. I mean, I'm at home right now talking to you,
Yeah,
but
I
I'm
know.
talking to you because I want people to go to the Wildwood Springs Lodge,
Absolutely.
September 27th, and
Absolutely.
they're going to have a fun time
Yeah.
because I'm going to have fun.
That's well, and I
I
think
mean,
that
I can't sit at home and say, "Honey, you want to hear the song about the dead dog?"
she's already heard it, right?
Yeah.
Hey, before we get into that, which I just got one more thing I'd like to talk to you about. You've written a book that's got me intrigued. Would you like to tell us
Oh,
a little bit about the book?
well, which one? I've written
Uh,
two books.
well, the life I've picked, a
Oh,
banjo,
good.
nitty gritty
Yeah,
journey.
the life I picked took me 10 years to write, and I sending these stories to Steve Martin
Hmm.
because he's a great writer, and he said that's a funny one, and that's a funny one. Oh, that's a good one, and but then I says I'm going to I'm going to put it out as a book. He goes, it's not a book, it's a bunch of stories. I says, oh no, what do I got to do to make it a book? He says, get an editor. So I got an editor and I put it in chronological order, so where it was following along, and it made so much more sense. I mean, I
Sometimes,
talk about Leon Russell.
oh,
I had this story about Leon Russell, and
mhm.
then I had a story because Leon was a friend of mine. In fact, I have a recording I did with me and Leon. I'm the only guy that I know of that did a duet with Leon,
Wow,
and it was really fun. It's
yeah,
called, oh well,
yeah.
that's it's not, nobody's going to play it because it's not out
You
anywhere.
never know. Hey, the Newsman, a man of record, is your latest musical release. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Well, can you
That's
tell us a
nice
little
of
bit
you.
about that?
Well, over the years, I've had these pieces of music that kind of came up that were story songs, talking blues. I mean, the first piece of music I learned was talking blues. Every time I come to town, the boys keep kicking my dog around.
Hmm.
Makes no difference if he is a hound. They got to quit kicking my dog around. And it was like, you like a talking blues thing.
Hmm.
And and I kept learning them. And the mountain whippoorwill came up in the mountains. It's lonesome all the time, and um, then another one, and over the years, I ended up having 8 different stories that I wanted to put on a record, and I had to come up with 2 more. So I did, and yeah, it's stories with my music behind them, and each one is a different piece of music, different type of music.
Very good. It's called the Newsman, a man of record. You can
Yes,
probably
sir.
stream that or find it somewhere online. Yes.
Yes, you can.
Very good. Very good. Hey, so you're just like a jack of all trades. You're a musician, a producer, an author. As you move through life, are you drawn to any of these vocations more than others, or is there something else you want to try too?
Lately, I've been writing words more than playing. I just started playing more yesterday.
Get limbered
but
up for the tour, huh?
I'm trying to figure out. I used to practice all the time, and now it's kind of like uh, I already know what I know, you know, and I don't. So there,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
I
It's like
but then so that's what I mean. So you're looking for another thing, and your writing is becoming part of it, right? I mean, that's what I'm hearing.
word writing, yeah.
Words, yeah, words. Hey, I understand
But
your. Go
I
ahead.
haven't given up. I haven't given up on music.
Oh no 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 no.
I certainly like playing it, and I think it gives me a different perspective. It's strange. It has to do with maybe my age.
Hmm.
I'm
Yeah,
79,
can't believe
and
that. How did that
I can't
happen?
believe it either.
Yeah, how did that
You
happen?
you can't believe it? There's two of us.
Yes. Hey, so you're gonna bring some joy to the Midwest. You're gonna stop in Kansas City on the way to Steelville. And
Yeah, that's going to be fun. I'm playing my favorite club, a place
knuckleheads,
called
huh?
Knuckleheads. Yeah,
Yeah.
the first time I played Knuckleheads, I drove up to it
Hmm.
and I went, I got to call my agent and fire him. How could he how could he book me in this hole? This place, this is a biker bar. And then as I was leaving after the show, I got to call my agent and have him book me here again. Because it's a wonderful place, Knuckleheads.
And
Frank Hicks runs it.
I told
Frank
my
does a
daughter.
great job.
Yeah.
Pardon?
No, I was going to say my daughter lives in Kansas City, and she was very excited when she heard that you were coming there. So you may see
Oh,
her.
well, have her say hello,
Oh, she
please.
will. She will. She'll have a vintage, probably 50-year-old nitty gritty dirt band T-shirt on. You can't miss her. So
Well,
now you're heading out down to Steelville, the Wildwood Springs Resort, and now will it be just you and your deering, or will you be bringing some friends with you?
when you say Deering, so people know, he means my banjo, my
Yeah,
my Deering banjo.
you're John McEuen model, right?
I'm bringing my banjo guitar. Yes, yes, the one they made for me,
Hmm.
which is really nice. I'm bringing my banjo, guitar, mandolin, and fiddle, and Brian McDowell. He's a great singer and picker and fiddle player,
Hmm.
and Les Thompson. In 1966, this kid called me up. He was only 16, and he said, "Hey, John, yeah, I'm forming a group down at McCabe's. You want to come join?" And I said, "Well, what are you calling it?" He goes, "Nitty Gritty Dirt Band." And I says, "Oh, I'll give it a try. I'll see. I know. Oh, yeah, I know those guys." And I did that for 50 years.
Wow,
And Les is playing with me now.
terrific.
And I think it's terrific. This guy, to think that I played with him for 6 months before the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band in a little bluegrass group.
Hmm.
But I mean, we were puppies. I was let's see, 19, and he was 16.
That's crazy. So you got Les Thompson, you got Brian McDowell, and somebody else too,
Marty, yeah,
Marty Fair.
Marty Fair, and also, since this was such a cool date, I'm going to do some unusual things. Like I called up Justin David. I don't know if you know that name. He's
No.
from he's from that area. He used to play. Let's just say he's one of the best singer guitar players that I know, and I was able to get him, and he's going to come in and do some songs with us, and we're going to. Oh, and I'm going to show video, which is this is a special date to me because Wildwood Springs Lodge is a place where you can really get to know people, get to know them, and there's a lot to do.
Indeed,
They
and
got a
if
lot.
you've never been to the Wildwood Springs Lodge, the venue itself is worth a visit, right?
Yeah, they have great food. They have rooms.
Hmm.
They have, and they have a wonderful performance situation. It's
I,
it's really, it's like if this place was in Aspen, it'd be busy every night.
And I saw Leo Kottke there one night, and he said,
Oh, how cool.
yeah, I said, this is, he said, this is probably the only place that I've ever played that I would actually want to stay in. But besides an evening of fabulous music, you've already told me that you're going to do some video as well. And anything else?
Yes.
Any other surprises? Of course, it's called the Circle Band, right?
Well, I have to call it something.
Okay.
I can't say John McEuen and the Men in Black or whatever.
Yeah. Right.
John and McEuen and the Nitty Gritty Dirt People.
Yeah. And of course, the circle comes from "Will the Circle Be Unbroken?"
Right, and we're gonna. I tell with the pictures behind it. My brother took all the photographs of the sessions because he was the producer of the group and he was the manager of the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band.
Really?
And he put together the Circle Being Broken album with me. He and I asked Doc Watson and Earl Scruggs if they'd record 2 days apart, and they both said yes, and I was astonished. And they got Bill, hello. my brother's name is Bill. It was William, as he always went by. But Doc and Earl said yes. He goes, I'm going to see if Merle Travis would be interested. He got Merle Travis, and then we got a couple others, and Earl helped us get a couple people, and 8 weeks after I asked Earl, we were in the studio recording.
Amazing.
And 5 days later, we had done 36 songs.
That's incredible.
We were worn out.
I bet.
But he took pictures. He took pictures of the session that I've turned into a kind of part of the show. I had the pictures run behind me, both of the early Dirt Band in 1967, 68, 69, leading up to the Circle album. And as the pictures go by, I tell the story with the music that we were playing at the time. And Buy For Me the Rain, Bojangles, Shelley's Blues, some of the old songs. And then Long Hard Road comes in too. You ever heard Long Hard Road?
Yes, I've heard everything you've done. I'm sorry to say. I'm kind of a super
nice
fan.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
John, we're running up against the. We're kind of running up against the clock, but
okay.
But what I would like to just ask you if you have anything else you'd like to share with us before we wrap it up. I want to let the folks know where they can get tickets and all that type of thing.
Well, if anybody's going to this show that's listening, please bring some questions, because I've been doing this music business thing a long time, almost 60 years. And people, if they have a question, I'll ask during the show. Any questions? And people always crack up. He's asking for questions? Yeah, and then as soon as I get an answer, they get it. Because the answers take me somewhere.
That's right.
And I go into the story of Jim Morrison or Bobby Sherman or when we played with those people.
Exactly.
Open for them. Or Jose Feliciano or whoever.
That's crazy. I think the short question I think would be, who haven't you played with, right?
Well, there's plenty.
I don't know. The list is pretty long, John, and pretty stellar. So, and you're one of the shining stars out there. So we appreciate
you.
We appreciate you coming to the Ozarks. John McEuen and the Circle Band will be with the Circle. Will the Circle Be Unbroken? Saturday evening, September 27th at Wildwood Springs Lodge in Steelville, Missouri. And if you're in Kansas City, head on over to Knuckleheads on Wednesday, September 24th. To get in touch with Wildwood Springs Lodge, call 573-775-2400 or go to the website. They have a terrific website, wildwoodsprings.lodge.com. John, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you. When we first came to Rolla, that show you went to, we stopped in a convenience store, and a bunch of guys were sitting there, and they recognized us from the Glenn Campbell show that we had just done the week before.
Mm-hmm.
And one guy goes, "Are you that banjo picker in that group?" And I said, "Yes, why, sir?" And he goes, "You think you're faster than Short Red?" And Short Red, who's that? And Short Red's pretty darn fast. It was really funny. And so the band always kidded me about, "Oh yeah, he's good, but he's not Short Red."
Well, John, I tell you what, it's been a big pleasure for me, and I'm really looking forward to meeting you face to face on September 27th. And it turns out that my wife is a cousin of yours, and,
Oh no.
I'm gonna email you the direct lineage. I think you share a fourth grandfather or something like that, a Lomax,
Huh.
Thomas Lomax and John Lomax.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think they interviewed you for their book, their history book, and so I'll send that to you. It's pretty interesting, and my wife is anxious to see you face to face as well. So we'll
Oh,
look
that's
forward
great.
we'll look forward to running India in September, and we'll certainly spread the word for you, John, and make sure that you have a packed house over there in Steelville, and with Bob Bell and the whole group over there.
Okay, well that's a wonderful thing.
Well, very
I
good.
haven't I haven't sung a hit record of my own,
There you
you
go.
know, and I played in a group that had plenty of them,
There you go.
but
Absolutely.
and I played a bunch of different instruments, but so it's sometimes hard to make people, for people to go, "Who is that guy?"
Hmm.
I mean, I'm so fortunate that there's people that don't do that.
Yeah.
But anyway, I appreciate that you've spreading the word.
All right. Thanks a lot, John. I'll look forward to seeing you in September.
See you in
I think that is a
September.
song. Yeah, you'll have to put that in the
Yeah.
repertoire. All right. Thanks a lot, John. You have a terrific evening. Thanks for your time as well. Okay.
No
I know
problem.
you're a busy guy, and so get out there and write some more lyrics for us. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thanks a lot, John. Bye bye now.
Bye bye.